And we're here. We're here. We're here.
Hello.
After much conversation in my own mind about whether or not to do this, we are here at the point I've been putting off as long as I could, which is cleanup duty on Bob's bottles.
Ah, what are you talking about? It's gonna be super easy. There'll be stuff everywhere.
Uh-huh. This is Talen Lee, he, him.
Yeah, and I'm still Foxley, she, her.
Alright. And we're playing Psychonauts 2, and this is like episode 20? Like, no.
You know what we're here for. You know what you're here for.
This will be episode 13, I think. Enjoy these belching sounds.
Oh yeah, we're recording. Hey, whoops.
Yeah.
This place is improved.
Oh well.
Sorry.
Bob really does have a green
You know how they
thumb.
say you don't want to belt, you don't want to swear in the first 5 minutes of a video?
Did they say that?
Yes, they do. They do say that. That's the thing that is said very commonly on the internet about YouTube videos.
I say fuck them.
Yeah, but the fact that you don't agree with the best practice for how you should run your YouTube channel, which you don't, you do know about the way that they talk about how you shouldn't swear in the first 5 minutes, right?
Oh yeah. It's not best practice so much as it's appeasement, but.
Anyway, regardless of how you want to phrase it, I also think we want to minimize the amount of. I think we want to try and maximize time to bodily function sound.
It's not about phrasing. It's about, like, are you willing to alter your personality to make YouTube's algorithm recommend you more? And, you know, I'm not.
No, I don't think. By the way, let me be clear. I think that the avoiding belching in our listeners' ears
belching.
That's
different.
Yeah, I don't think of that as an algorithmic thing. I think of that as a that's not very nice thing.
Yeah, no, that's a genetic thing. Sorry, I did forget that we were recording because we haven't done it in a hot minute.
We haven't done it in 2 weeks, which is the schedule we've been doing for most of the year.
Yeah, but you're forgetting how much shit I had going on in those 2 weeks compared to normal.
You want to tell people what you've been doing these past 2 weeks?
I was helping my mom make her art show happen, which also included making a whole-ass kids book.
Uh-huh.
And a card game.
Yep.
And doing all of the layout and design and typesetting and editing for both of those things.
Uh-huh.
As well as being a developer.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been super busy.
Doing your job. And then, I guess, a whole ass other job.
And kind of been doing 3 people's jobs. But hey, that's how Goblin Energy works, right? I can either do nothing or I can do 12 things.
Oh, okay, so that's how Goblin Energy is meant to work.
It's meant to work. That is how it works.
Okay.
When I can focus on something, I'm extremely productive. Too bad I can't make myself focus on anything I don't care about.
Uh-huh. It's a rough one. Hey, it was our wedding anniversary last week.
It was my fucking birthday during this week. I haven't even had a birthday.
Yeah.
Though some various friends did bring me cakes, which was lovely.
It's pretty rad how many people showed up and went, hey, hi, hope you're having good times, have a cake, bye. It's like the perfect goblin birthday. That's not true. The perfect goblin birthday involves a fire pit and her dog.
Correct. I really like hanging out with people for occasions.
And situations.
I do not like seeing people every day, and I do not like being in big groups ever. But, you know, I would choose to spend my birthday with people. Specifically, people who are giving me presents.
And cake.
And cake. And playing games with me. Like, I'm not saying I don't want something from this equation.
Yeah.
But I would not choose to be alone on my birthday, all other things being equal. And when I say alone, I of course mean alone, but Talen, because...
I'm her emotional support object.
Actually, alone just doesn't really apply very much. Somebody... I regularly, you know, on like Mastodon and stuff, somebody will ask a question about, you know, how much do you like socializing? How okay are you with being alone? And I never know how to answer. Because you're such a, like, permanent fixture of my existence.
Yeah.
That when I think about being alone, I do think, except for Talen, obviously. Talen doesn't count.
I am the wallpaper.
Hey, little buddy. I need to get somewhere quick.
That sounds so demeaning. I would mean
Wasn't-
that in the best possible way.
Wasn't meant to be. So in the interest of making Bob's bottles a little more handleable, and I apologize for this sudden change
Thanks
of
for the
topic,
ride.
I'm going to try and I'm going to try and clean up everywhere but the overworld first. And then once I've got the overworld cleaned up, once I've done that, it should make it nice and clear how many things actually remain in the overworld. Right.
Oh, does the overworld not get its own,
It gets its own count. Well,
It does get its own.
yeah, it has its own local counter, but the Figments, Bob's bottles, yeah, you see, because the zones melt into each other, it can be a little hard to tell. There
I have no concept of that based on the map, but I trust you, because you know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's just also why I left this one last. Alright, what about behind the fridge? Oh, I already got that one.
Ah.
Ho!
What about behind the fridge? Oh, I guess I already got that one too.
There was one in both places?
I think so.
That's very good.
I think so. Anyway, yeah, fuck me.
Oh, that was a figment! Wow!
That was just a figment, just whole ass sitting there.
Some of them are kind of mean.
Yeah, it's meant to be a gameplay element where you find the thing.
Forgot about that. That's delightful.
The bulb.
I was about to do the same
Hey,
thing,
wanna
you know?
hang out?
What? Belch?
No, go wee.
Thanks for the lift, by the way.
Not quite as
I didn't
slowly as
catch your
it,
name.
but you know, I wasn't being slow down, so it wouldn't be.
Up in the air, Junior.
But yeah, this is one of the ways in which
Man.
goblins are a complex species to study, because there are the goblins who are very pro-social and form large communal
One more time around the block, Jeeves.
groups gobbed together. And then there are the goblins.
Globules.
Then there are the goblins that would like to be left alone in their writer's garret if you just keep delivering sweeties.
Yeah, I'm that kind of goblin.
I do think in Cover and Sail about how
Hope you're not taking me
like
back
I have
to your
room
nest
for both
to,
the scrungly
something.
lanky goblin and the other kind, and I do very much think that it's a byproduct of just is there a lot of food around?
Does anyone happen to
So people tend to
have an
think that
air
there's like
sickness
city
bag?
goblins and the city goblins are the skinny ones. Like no, it's a lot simpler than that actually. It's just does this goblin have
Up
access
in
to
the
tons of
air,
food? Is there a
Junior
kebab shop near this goblin?
Man.
If so, a goblin will become fat and happy, and if not, a goblin will become scrungly.
Probably cross. That's why the scrungly ones are the mean ones. That's scrungly slander, I know.
Yeah.
Look, I am Boba
Put
not
me
Kiki.
down, wretched
Well, also, I
demon.
do tend to think of it in like there are going to be there are going to be places where the types of food you eat give you an abundance
Breath
of
from above.
well, honestly, of fat. Like I don't think it's necessarily any dietitians in the comments feel free to sound off about how I'm absolutely fucking wrong about this. But in my mind, if you're at a place like say, I know yak meat and kangaroo meat are both really hard to get fat out of. And I know
you
that
met
sounds
my
weird
friend?
because yaks
They
are
just love to
Yaks aren't
fly
fatty?
and fly.
apparently not.
That's a huge surprise.
Well, that's the thing I've been told from novelty butchers, the kinds of places that will let you buy an emu steak kind of thing. But as my understanding is that yak meat is very yak meat is very dense and tightly packed. I think it's a
Show
water
me
conservation
the way
thing
to
more
go
than it is
home.
fat.
I think I hear
that.
something.
Whereas, and I know kangaroo meat, for the same reason as water conservation, is
spell
just
that right?
not fatty at all.
Wait a second,
Yeah.
what am I
Do
doing up
have-
here?
Do I have the tag for that? I do. Aha. Hoopa.
Yeah, I can see that being a thing.
And
Also, like, they live up really high, right? So there's not a lot going on. Just shitloads of grass.
so I think it's a non-zero chance that, for example, in the big frozen fuck off cold of Gare article going up, yesterday when this video goes up, I think. But I think like the Garian goblins are probably going to be pretty scrungly. Although, even as I say that, I imagine that like there are a lot of them who are very happy to pay to import extremely dense carb food and get very chubby because that makes you better handling the cold. I winter well, says the goblin.
I suppose Gare is mountainous cold.
Yeah.
But,
It's...
you know, as far as I'm concerned, a Garian, a frosty goblin should look like Spiel.
Actually, seals are a really good example now that you bring it up, because, like, seals are ridiculously fatty animals.
They are, but that's the difference between being frozen at sea level and frozen up in the fucking mountains, right?
Yeah, I understand that's the case.
Ain't no seals in Tibet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that. I'm pretty sure there's no seals in Tibet.
I remember reading a really fun article about, like, the fattiest milks.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
how different animals have different levels of fat in their milk based on like how well in a lot of cases
they need.
How much fat they need. And in the case of seals, they need an absolute monstrous amount of fat as infants to get basically padded enough to handle the cold of their natural
I'm going
environment.
swimming in the below freezing ocean for life. I'm going to need a lot of fat.
Yeah. And so, if I remember, and like, I can't remember these numbers correctly off the top of my head, but it's something in the district of a seal's milk is something like 70% lactose. It's just, and as described, comes out like yogurt.
You can't say something like that to me on air, Talen.
Look, we started with gross body noises, we're finishing with gross body noises.
That one was somehow more involuntary. Yeah, so gross. Anyway, facts.
Yeah, whereas I understand it, say, platypus milk, such as it is already a weird situation to be in. That is apparently not very fatty.
Surely you can't base anything on that.
Well, yeah, platypus milk is really weird, because well, hey everyone, here's one of the differences between monotremes, the tiny microsystem of
Two things.
mammals in
Fucking-
Australia, which is...
I guess sort of almost three. It depends on whether you consider the two echidnas different things.
Yeah, it's not a big list, all right. You have your echidnas and you have your platypuses, and you have a bunch of extinct echidnas and a bunch of extinct platypuses and fossils thereof. Shout out to one of my favorite Australian megafauna names, Zegulaki.
Ooh, that's got to be an echidna with a name like that, right?
That was indeed an echidna.
Yeah.
About the size of a wolfhound.
Do that. Echidna's like a nuggety, dense thing.
What do you... Hey, Fox, wild guess, what do you reckon we first found to prove the existence of Zegulaki?
A whole ass one of them just buried somewhere?
The fossilized quills.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It's like finding a packet of McDonald's straws.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah, monotremes don't have nipples.
I knew that.
So they sweat milk.
It's disgusting. It's even grosser than nipples.
It's not the most disgusting marsupial-based reproductive behavior. That honor definitely, in my opinion, goes to the koalas. But, yeah.
They're all revolting. There's a reason I'm just against babies. All babies.
There's, people like, oh, you'll want kids eventually, and it turns out, no, we didn't. Nope, sorry, thanks. I appreciate your intention.
Oops.
I think you think I'd make a great dad, but I don't. Now I get to make a pretty good uncle, which means I get to show up, rev the kids up with all sorts of ridiculous nonsense, tell them things that they're going to have to ask their parents about later, and leave!
Yep.
Here's where you get the subtitled anime.
I am, so, you know, the whole t-shirt making thing, right? Like, I try and do a bit of graphic design every month.
I'm aware of this.
This month, I've just been, you know, spoilers here, I work on the shirt designs well in advance. Like, they're almost all, a lot of a year's shirt designs happen in a little flurry of productivity in January, and then I just space them out throughout the year. But there's still times where I've, like, got a new design and I've, you know, got to think about it.
He's lying to you in release schedule.
Yeah, I'm lying to you through the use of a calendar, as opposed to the way Fox normally gets lied to by a calendar, which is it just tells her the truth.
May the 31st is a myth.
Anyway, but I'm trying to find a good tutorial or guide on making
Could you give me a
specifically the extremely detailed, messy, scrungly, heavy metal logos.
Oh. Yep.
And it's a really frustrating thing to research. And like,
Thanks, buddy.
I have tried to do this manually. I don't like the results, so I've gone looking. And the thing with this project is that there are so many people offering free generators for heavy metal logos, which are fine. They're not actively bad. And then there are the people who are offering, well, AI generated ones, which are really quite horrid.
I was gonna say they'd have generators from before the time when you could get generators for every image, wouldn't they? Yeah, I don't know if there's any sort of trick to it. I think you maybe just have to have the vibe, I feel.
Yeah. And that is unfortunately an area that I am not well equipped. Okay, so the door's not opening. That's not ideal.
But you already unlocked everything.
Thought I had. Hey
Hey,
there,
little
little
buddy.
guy. Let's
I
go
need
try
to
a
get
different
somewhere
area and
quick.
come back. There's still something in the ruined greenhouse to find, huh?
You still don't know what this creature is.
That
really,
always
do we?
makes me a
It's a
little
little buddy.
dizzy.
Uh-huh.
Don't see what's so hard about that.
No. That's one of those in everyone's brain, right? It's not surprising at all.
This whole level is heartbreaking. It's so good for its non-obvious use of things, and then when it has to be obvious, it's extremely obvious.
It's pretty brutal.
Alright, back to here.
May I trouble you for a
Tia's kitchen. Sunken motherlode. Bog of the throat. I got the Viking reception, that's pretty good. You know what, just in the vein of, like, continuing to knock out things that I know I've got, I'm just gonna go do the Bog of the Betrothed.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try
Got a
and
little
simplify
bubble
the
juice in my
space
nose
and know
that
how
time.
much stuff we're looking for, because I know there's a lot of stuff here I missed. Ugh.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to go to the place where there's the most stuff left. Because you can get a whole bunch of stuff quickly and it makes you feel good.
by the way.
Hey, Fox, you been playing Breath of the Wild lately?
Look, there's 3 of them right there. Oh, that was 2. Okay, fine.
No, there's 3.
Oh yeah, because that's a thing too.
I'll take
I like how you didn't answer my question about you've been playing.
I don't feel it warranted a response.
Why not?
Because I didn't want to respond to it.
I asked you about a video game you've been playing. I did.
No, I
Like, don't get me wrong, I understand entirely the need to be private and personal about some things, but there are some things where I was like wondering what the hell is wrong with that.
I am kind of at a loss for what to do in the game. Like, I feel like I have so much stuff outstanding, but I don't want to look up FAQ.
Oh no,
It's just wandering around. Oh,
little Bob,
that baby Bob.
baby Bob.
Well, you know, in case you didn't get it.
That was a lot of figments.
Yeah, that was like 8, 12 right there.
Yeah, and all the stuff on the wall there. Alright.
Yep.
Just like little things, you know, like the fact that you have to knock everything off the table to go down there.
Uh-huh. It's so clever.
Aim for
Very
me,
good
this monster
storytelling.
so roughly bearing me o'er the sea.
I do think these things doing the moving around water shield thing, and you got to use the time slow on them as well, might be a bit much.
They're a little annoying.
Yeah, I would have. Maybe we just didn't have to use the slowdown.
You don't have to if you're really good, but I'm not.
You clearly meant to use the slowdown.
In a lot of ways, the slowdown... Look, okay, there are a couple of things that Psychonauts design has going on that follow this pattern. In the first game, there was an invisibility power, which was a very dubious use in almost all situations, but it was useful in the meat circus at the end, the hardest level. And that led to a lot of people forgetting they had it, and that in turn led to a lot of...
The meat circus being even harder.
The meat circus was even harder, yeah, and there were a lot of complaints of like, how the hell am I supposed to do these things? There's no tool like this in the game, and the developers were like, well, there is that thing, you just ignore it all the time. And in turn, in videos, they've since gone on the record and said like, yeah, because we didn't make it interesting enough to use, so no one picked it up, so no one got the habit of using it, and therefore it solves a problem.
Oh, the cake maze. I forgot about the cake maze. It's so good.
Helmut, then Bob.
Damn it, best flag.
the birthday boy flag.
Just, I love its colors, you know?
Yep.
Alright. And now I'm trying to find the little guy so I can get out of here and see how close I am. Like, how much did that knock out?
And in.
Could you give me a lift?
Alright, because we're in the Viking reception and we're fine. We're still in the bog. There's still some stuff in the bog of the betrothed. So back we go.
Ah, so you said the areas lead into a... Like, it's just really unclear when you've crossed
Thanks,
into another
buddy.
area.
Uh-huh.
I see, I see.
Oh no, they're up here, aren't
I
they?
can see your house from here. Is it green?
Hey, little buddy.
That's the
I need
bottleneck
to
you
get
slide
somewhere
down
quick.
to get in here. Alright. Alright, fine.
That always makes me a little dizzy.
Dear.
Hey, go.
He was so chill and relaxing.
Please, please. Now.
Yep.
You have no idea how slick that looked, by the way.
Oh, you're right, I don't, because I wasn't watching.
No.
Sorry. I feel really bad now.
It's all good.
I can't hurt
It was
them.
amazing, I know it.
See you in hell. Oh,
Don't
put
patronize
that
me.
away. Now,
Get over here.
that thing is tough.
Look at you.
Ew. Oh,
Alright, fine. We'll go back to my default strategy of set everything on fire, I
Set
guess.
everything on fire.
nope.
Don't know why
That
you try
enabler
all
is
this
making
stuff.
it impossible to do any
When you
damage.
Set everything on fire. Surely that should be enough.
I'd hate to jump into my head and figure out why I did.
Good boy, Ellie.
That's I think I
Come on,
winged it.
grab a beanbag suit.
Cheerleader.
I wish I was on a beanbag.
You could be on a beanbag if you wanted.
If I wanted the microphone to barely pick me up.
No, not the flamingo. I don't need the telepathic vision of the flamingo. One of the better detective novels.
The incredible proverb that we've all heard. You never really
Almost
understand
had it.
yourself until you
I
have
just
looked
need to
Oh,
through the
focus
eyes
a
of a
little
flamingo.
longer with my clairvoyance.
Horrible things. There we
Let's
go.
see if we can get to the heart of this bad mood.
Where's your problem, mate? Oh, for fudge's sake. For blimey's sake.
For a second there, I thought it was pointing to the flamingo. and
Now's
that
my
flamingo.
chance.
Fuck that guy specifically. Good boy.
Come on, dingus. Become understandable.
Almost had it. Hey, I think he let his clairvoyance guard down.
Hey, go. Good boy.
Oh, great. It's across the fucking way.
just deliberately put it somewhere you can't really reach while connected to the clairvoyance?
Yes, sir.
It looks like it's vulnerable to CV right now.
Eddie, come on. Good boy.
Well, when in doubt, leave.
I think if I use projection on this door, my archetype would
there.
go in there.
Come on, get in.
I think if I use projection on this door, my archetype would go in there.
He's giving you a hint, Talen.
Under the door like a pesky too.
There you go. Whoop. Fighting Maligula as a plant controller. And losing his husband. And getting fired. Because he's a drunk.
Oh. Missed that whole bit.
Yeah, that's why I had to climb a big thing to get all the way into the... It's how getting here was... Well, it's how I got here. I had to climb an extremely large... We appreciate your patience in this trying... Dog!
Dog.
And dog being a dingus.
Good boy.
Dongus.
Phew!
Yeah, I really do fear that he's doing this on purpose. Like he's learned the behavior that if he goes
I
and
think if I
barks while
use
we're recording,
clairvoyance on that
he
bad
will
mood,
receive
I can
bribery.
find the cause of their mood and eliminate
Because you will. It's true. We've
So I've not been bribing him here.
Okay, so we have the sunken mother lobe clean. That's good. The ruined greenhouse still and Tia's kitchen still have something, so I guess we're going to Bob's Island to try and get down some bottlenecks. Woo!
Thanks.
Do the kitchen and the other place have
the right.
slidey bits as well? I remember a lot of those.
Maybe. Okay. So pink flowers is the heart is the last one if I remember correctly, so that can't possibly be the last one. That's such a straight route. Alright, let's see. Oh. Thank you.
Jeez.
Yeah, they blend the Look, there's a reason I saved this one till last. It is not easy. And we're gonna be, and only the really hardcore fans, and by that I mean Furore, Clay, and MZ, are gonna be here putting up with my malarkey at this stage of things. Alright. Okay, so that's Tia's garden. Okay. The fridge open?
Oh, was that the last one?
No, because that one was in the overworld. And now that opened. Okay.
You've been through here before. I remember that hand.
Yeah.
That's not a figment in the hand, is it? There's something in it. But it looked solid, so I assume it wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's not
It is solid, okay. That's a lovely plant. It's just beautiful.
This thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Reminds me of a mangrove.
I like droopy things.
Unlike your dog. Your dog do not droop.
He do not droop, it's true. He pointy all over.
Figments and an emotional baggage. That's pretty much what we've got left. Alright. So we're just moving very patiently through this area, keeping an eye out, looking around.
Eddie!
Hello down there.
Unfortunately, that means there's going to be a lot of moments of stillness.
Good boy.
Because the thing that makes
Put
it
me
makes
down,
Figment
wretched
differentiate
demon.
itself from the background is its little wobbly movement.
For the lift, by the way.
Turns to
I
face
didn't
you,
catch
right?
your name.
Yeah. They're all 2D. I'm pretty confident there aren't any here.
I hope you're not taking me back to your nest to, feed something.
Ellie's making like maybe he wants to go in the sack, so I'm gonna hop up and do that.
Name for me this monster so roughly bearing
It's
me
okay,
over
you'll miss
the
out on the
sea.
thrilling dialogue of me looking very carefully at things. Or walking face first into the water.
Alright, Chad, who wants me to give this dog a bigger treat that'll keep him occupied? Maybe, like, put some dog peanut butter on it or something. I think I heard a yes there.
Alright. Far be it for me to argue with chat. That's not fair. If I was a streamer, I would argue with chat all the time. I would be awful.
Hey, I can see your house
I would
from here.
relentlessly bicker. I would be constantly saying, listen here, you tuned into me. I would just be the kind of streamer I make fun of all the time. I'd be ADEF. Aha!
Up in the air, Junior man.
Found that one. Alright.
Hi, have you met my friend? They just love to fly and fly.
I wonder if that's going to be it. Is it just like I missed exactly one? What do you think, chat?
Does anyone
Leave a
have
comment below.
have an air
And remember
sickness
to like,
bag?
rate, and subscribe. A call to action, a thing I never do. I've even talked about this, how I think that, like, fundamentally in my mind, a call to action of the like, rate, and subscribe is the kind of thing I should do if this is my job. And therefore, as long as I'm not doing it, I'm very much not thinking of YouTube as a job, as opposed to what it is for me, which is a hobby. And being a hobby means that I don't really have to care a lot about a lot of stuff like analytics. I do feel a little cross because there are people who talk about how, oh, you just need to do what you do with sincerity and personality and be prepared for, you know, just do your own thing and you'll find your own people. And I don't think that's true. I think that that's a thing that people who rolled the dice and got a hard 6 think, because it makes it a lot easier to deal with than the idea that I scratched a lottery ticket and it came up a success, and that is completely decoupled from the fact that the thing I made is like fucking Undertale. That's not entirely fair either, because the big thing that makes Undertale successful is the fact that it had a pre-existing, pre-installed fan base ready to go, because it was fundamentally a piece of Homestuck derivative fiction. And if you were in the Homestuck forums, you had a giant community of people who were willing to give any old weird bullshit a look in, and it has a, you know, humor base, a memeplex that you can reference, and that people like that kind of thing. And I'm not talking too much shit about it, because that's also where Gideon the Ninth comes from, and I like that book series, so it seems to me that it's possible that a thing can be inspired by Homestuck, and that doesn't make it bad. What's really fun is that I now teach students who are at the age where they could be the children of partners, children of couples who are themselves only together because of Homestuck. Like, people who met on the Homestuck forums are old enough that they could have kids who are adults going to university. I remember during the pandemic, I gave absolutely... I gave a room a real horrifying shock when I greeted everyone by saying, "Hello, every pony," which was pretty bad. That they didn't like that. But what really upset some students was when I said that statistically, one of you in this room is a Vriska. And the fact that there were multiple students who recognized that amuses me greatly. Anyway, hi Fox, how you doing? You didn't miss anything.
May I trouble you for a bubble?
Alright, that's the greenhouse done. I found the one. So Tia's kitchen, shipping the bottle. Now it's back to the bog of the betrothed, and I think it's going to be the bottleneck. So I'm going to go up to the island. And
That always makes me a little dizzy.
okay, so we've done the pink. I think red is the last one, so we'll try there.
I have successfully created a deep fascination with a piece of beef tendon.
Mm-hmm. It's wild that they call it tendon when the cow has way more than 10 of them.
Boo!
You're booing me, but I'm right.
It's hardly worth it, but boo!
Wow, is there like nothing in the neck? Huh.
That looked very empty.
Did I just get it right the first time?
Oh, they put a thing for you to get back up.
Yeah.
That was nice of them.
Wild. But I'm pretty sure I'm good on
Could
this
you give
one.
me a lift?
Yeah, I'm good on the ship in the bottle, so okay. Oh boy. That means it's...
Oh. It's just the overworld.
Uh-huh. Well, it's also, the bog of the betrothed, so now I need to check the neck of the bog of the betrothed. But that's okay. Because now we know that it's the yellow flowers.
Oh, that's the one you've been trying to find the whole time?
Uh-huh. And, you know, it doesn't hurt to double-check these things. Man, the steering mechanism for this is ropey.
I love any vehicle where you can just sort of do a 180 and continue, because that turns out to be easier than going back and turning the way you meant to turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pro that.
Alright. Are there figments in the neck that I missed? Oh no, I've got them all. Yep, yeah, I got them all on the first run through. Oh
It's a
boy.
nice color scheme.
Oh yeah. It's deeply unfair that bottles that symbolize alcoholism are made of such lovely glass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
Well, I found one.
Elephant thing?
It's Elephant Bob.
Hi, have you met my friend? They just love to fly and fly.
Hey, snot dude.
may I
Was that
trouble
it?
you for a bubble?
That was it. That was it.
Wow.
Which means
Ah, see?
overworld.
That barely took any time.
Yeah. Well. Don't count your
Thanks for the
chickens,
ride.
because I need to find 11 figments in this overworld and a piece of emotional baggage.
They'll stick out.
Narrative voice. They did not, in fact, stick out.
Not my problem.
Yeah, it is. You're stuck here.
I came here willingly for the ride because it's fun. You're accidentally entertaining me, you poor fool.
You fool, you baboon, you cad.
Normally one would say buffoon, but I like that you said baboon instead.
Billions of blistering
Talen.
blue barnacles.
Talent.
Yeah. You can't jump off it.
What?
You've got to find a dock.
What?
Yeah.
Boo! Boo!
Look, I didn't design it. There we go.
Yeah, well, I'm not booing you.
1, 2, 3.
It's the guy here. So what's his face?
Hi, Agent Sonato.
It is, yeah, look at
You're
his beard.
fired.
You can't fire me.
You're fired.
Is that all you're gonna say to me, Truman?
You think I won't fire family?
Okay, see you later, Bob's memory of Truman.
Oh,
Firing people makes me feel like a big man.
I was like, how accurate is this to just what he actually said?
Yep.
It super isn't.
What's that sound?
There you go.
Bob's
Alright,
emotional
and
baggage is
now
all sorted.
we
Hope
have
that
to
feels
find
better, Agent.
8 figments. 1,
Paper
2.
fist.
That is a very good figment.
Crab crab.
Cause he walks like a crab, talks like a crab. Stopping there so the copyright bots don't get me. Copyright bots will not in
I
fact
think
get
you're
me.
safe. At the risk of being rude and dismissive.
Yeah, because you're
and
always so
judgy.
careful about that.
What's that now? Only 3 left?
3 to go.
Ah, I told you to be a piece of piss.
Whew.
The blessing of crab is with you.
I mean, it's true. Does this still have the figments? Because the first game had like a figment encyclopedia.
Oh, like a gallery, so you can check them all out.
Yeah, and like you could at least look at them and go like, well, where is this likely to show up?
Oh man, they have really funny like in-character commentary on them from Raz or anything.
I don't know. It's been a while since I played Psychonauts 1 all the way through.
Just reminded that one of my favorite things in video games is like goofy descriptions of real things. Like if you played Katamari, There's always an encyclopedia or stuff where it's like, you know, how would the King of all Cosmos describe a chair? And they're really fucking well done. That's something that Donut County got right as well, actually.
That's a game I have not yet played.
Oh, you should give it a go. It's not very long.
And as we have learned, I am a big fan of games that I can finish in basically an afternoon and write an article about.
And, you know, not for nothing, raccoons.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a game, Creature Kitchen, about raccoons that I am also looking to play soon. And that's on the list of play with Fox.
And there's a lot of goblin games on the horizon. There are a couple of raccoon games and that one actual goblin game.
Like the Goblin.
Yeah.
Which I've played enough of to go, okay, yeah, I will play all of this.
And Pizza Possum, which I assume we won't, like, play to hundo or anything, but, you know, it's gotta be fun for at least one session of just running around squawking.
My aim with Pizza Possum is to play it off mic, off camera at some point, see if I think it's got juice. Because, like, so like, one of the worst things I think I can do as a micro critic with a background in academia is to take the lens I have, which comes with like a lot of like hypothetical legitimacy. Like I can bring academic texts and the work of like very big-brained people to bear. I have access to a university library, that kind of stuff. And to look at the work of a very small team of people and to then be uncharitable. So if I play a game and I think it's a bit shit, I try not to talk about it unless it's, like, in my opinion, something, like, made by a really big group of people. Or, as in the recent game I looked at, Crisis, that the person in question has, like, said, hey, look, I want critical reviews of my work. Shout out to the author of Crisis. I wish I could remember your name off the top of my head. I'm very sorry. I read a lot of names every day. And it is marking season, so my brain is a little bit mush.
That's cool, though. I really respect someone who invites actual, like, critical feedback. Because I don't. Once I've made something, I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear any kind of critical opinions about this. I love it.
And also, you got it right. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made it.
There's an element of that. And, like, you know, realistically, I have a functioning brain. I understand that that's not the case. And what I do probably
Otto.
would be better
Glad
with
Bob's
some
keeping
feedback,
some
but
friends
also,
around.
like,
Friends? Please.
because my experience creating things is so based in hedonism.
It's so based. It's so based. It's so based.
It's so based in hedonism.
Uh-huh.
Like, improving the thing has never been the goal. Making me delighted is the goal.
Kicking your little legs in the air.
Yeah. I'm not kicking my little goblin legs in the air, then why did I even do a thing? So, like, all of which is to say, I know I have a very immature attitude towards critique. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And part of that is respecting people who have a much more grown-up attitude towards it.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of didn't ask kind of culture that goes on, especially in like the amateur and hobbyist creative spaces. Like, you know,
Which, once again, is fine. I'm doing it myself.
bringing my toolkit to bear on, for example, the work of a fanfic author, that just seems kind of toolish. And don't get me wrong, this is one of the reasons why, of all the things I put on my blog, and all the things I write about, the category that's probably the hardest to write about is tabletop RPGs. Because there are so many really mediocre tabletop RPGs on itch.io, and I have so many of them because they're because there's so many of them in bundles. But the thing is, like, I got this RPG because someone who made it was willing to make it a functionally free purchase for me as part of trying to raise money for, like, the Trans Day of Remembrance or aid to Palestine. And so
Yeah.
sitting there and going like, well, it's not very well edited seems like such a knob move.
Well, the appendix left a lot to be desired.
And don't get me wrong, I do think I have been considering the idea of using of putting together like a general guide of, hey, I look at a lot of TTRPGs on itch.io. Here's some stuff you can do that's almost free that will make everything you do better. Like, I'm shocked that the standards for a table of contents are not universal. I'm so shocked. I'm surprised at how few people seem to realize that big artworks in RPG books serve a really useful reference purpose.
You mean like having one at all?
Okay, so I've talked
Table
about
of
this.
contents I'm stuck on.
Yeah, sorry, cable contents. Okay, so I talked about this when talking about the game Rod Reel and Fist. There's a video on this channel. You can go look it up, and I'm pretty sure that everyone like that one. That one made its money on Kickstarter. Like that one. Rod Reel and Fist is functionally a successful and complete game. So I don't have to feel too bad about like I'm smack talking it. But Rod Reel and Fist has a table of contents that is 80 pages long.
What the actual shit?
Because it's a comprehensive table of contents, and it's one entry, one line. And it, like, they just went into Word and pressed the button that said, make me a table of contents, and it did, and they didn't check to see how many layers deep that would go. And the result is a table of contents that's 80 pages long, in a 300-page PDF. It's not nothing, but it's so unwieldy. One of the reasons why almost every TTRPG you've ever played puts its rules in two columns, like the columns things, is because columns is a better way for storing dense information. And that means that, you know, a table of contents where it's one entry on one line, that means you have, if you made that a table with...
It's also a single column?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, this is a thing I made light fun of, in that I talked about... So what I did for my video on Rod Reel and Fist, which again, I think... By the way, Rod Reel and Fist, it's a TTRPG about going fishing.
Yeah.
It rules. Honest to God. The concept space for it is fantastically dad-core, and I think one of the possible plots that it suggests in its world building is you are trying to do something to, like, rescue your dad, so you gotta win a fishing competition. So you're, like, rescuing dad by doing a dad thing. And, like, no notes. That's great. I like that a lot. But while I'm doing this video, there is a slow scroll of the book next to me, and all it is the first 80 pages of the PDF.
Can you climb this?
This thing? I can try.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think so. I'm pretty confident
There
no.
was a ledge that you definitely could have gotten to in the bowl. And I was like, ooh, does that mean you're supposed to go up? But, looking further up, probably not. I can't see where the next step would be.
Hi there, seagull. Yeah, that's not a ledge. That's just a slidey slot. But yeah, and like Rod Reel and Fist is, again, no actual criticism of the game as a game. It is a game about fishing, where a fishing encounter is designed with the same level of depth as like a 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons combat encounter.
Right, and that is sick. But that is an objectively wrong table of contents.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I say almost free, and also Rod Reel and Fist is, I think at this point 8 years old. Like, you know, no one is like working on this project right now and feels
Hey, little
bullied.
buddy.
I don't.
I need to get somewhere quick.
Ellie, Igno.
All right, back to the boat, back to the island. And then there were some of the ones like oh, I can't remember what it was called,
Got a
like
little
Dirtbag
bubble
Witches
juice
or
in my
something like
nose
that,
that time.
which was a game. It was a Blades in the Dark game. Sorry, a Forged in the Dark engine game about basically being, and forgive me for invoking it, expelled students from Hogwarts. And you're like loser wizards and whatnot who don't have any kind of success to work from and don't have pre-established networks. So so the whole thing has this vibe of like wizards bootlegging and stealing things and using things they shouldn't.
That's
like,
pretty sick.
Magically cursed cell phones. Yeah, long on concept. Really, really strong on concept. And then the mechanical systems that it introduced to go with it seemed to not make much sense to me. Like, object degradation in a Blades in the Dark, in a Forged in the Dark style game. I just don't see an application for it. Because objects in those games are already pretty intangible. Things are already kind of fundamentally temporary. So I didn't see the value of that, and also it introduced... So here's an example of a really good system, but I don't think it belongs in Forged in the Dark, which is the rewards you get for using an item are a die roll. And when the item is in really good quality, it's a D10. And then, when you first roll a 1, that d10 shrinks to a d8. And then when you roll a 1 on the d8, it shrinks to a d6, then it shrinks to a d4. And so, you have this thing where, like, you get better at using the thing because you're more likely to roll the maximum number and get the maximum result on the table. But you're more likely to break it the more you use it. And that is genuinely a good bit of mechanical design. I think that that's clever. And I look at this and wonder, why would you put this in a Forged in the Dark game? I don't need really detailed mechanical items in Forged in the Dark. That's not how I play Blades. So it doesn't strike me as necessary. But also, that was a project of 2 people, and the fact that the book looks like ass doesn't matter because, again, it's 2 people effectively writing a Google Sheet doc.
I kind of agree.
And so, like, talking about itch RPGs is this matter of finding, is this commentary useful? Can I say something that anyone can use? Can I nonetheless draw attention to this thing? There's a system I've been looking at a lot lately because I think the fundamental system is pretty goddamn solid, and it's not Forged in the Dark, and it's not like PBTA, which is belonging within belonging. And here's the thing, I'm now at the point where I'm playing a video game and trying to remember references after a day of a PhD meeting where I had to do a whole bunch of academics' names off the top of my head, so I apologize if I get anyone's names wrong. The best belonging within belonging one that I looked at and thought was like really genuinely interesting was Sleepaway, and I want to say that's by someone called Jay Sherman, but I think that that's the character from The Critic, so I'm probably misremembering part of that name. I am thinking it's Jay, but it might be something really sick like Jay Dragon.
I'm a little confused by the best belonging within belonging one.
Sorry, it's called Belonging Without Belonging, I think. It's a game system about marginalized people creating communities in a greater, more conventional narrative landscape. So, like, it's a post-apocalyptic story, so the game engine is set up to create a post-apocalyptic world, but then the whole point of it is you are characters who have to try and find a way to hold together because you are not accepted as part of the power structure.
And then the thing you're talking about is an implementation of it?
Yes.
An adventure?
Yes.
Okay.
A game built on this engine.
Okay.
And Sleepaway, well, the idea of Sleepaway is that the victims in slasher movies are, historically speaking, the ones that don't live are the ones who are marginalized. And so that's why it comes up. Crisis, that superhero game I talked about, is also a belonging without belonging game. And it has a whole section on the idea of the superhero
Get
with
up there.
different one. This one's yellow. Hi, Ellie. The belonging without belonging one. Sorry, the Crisis. The idea of the superhero as marginalized. Like, I think that's a really interesting point. And indeed, in my review, I think I wrote something like, yeah, here is the thing I really want to talk about here. The idea of the superhero as a marginalized identity, because I think more superheroes, like, necessarily should be viewed as marginalized identities. Because otherwise, if you just fit into the existing power structure, you just would. So there's something that stops you from doing that. And, like, Batman. Batman is extremely mentally unwell, and he has, like, the marginalized group Batman belongs to, not that he's ever going to talk about it, is a child. Like, Batman, as a child, as a rich child, was nonetheless, had all sorts of stuff imposed on him, and the result is he becomes the kind of person for whom being Batman makes some goddamn sense.
Yeah, I just thought you were citing the mentally ill as marginalized people, which is not at all inaccurate, I don't think.
Superman is obviously an immigrant, and every single time they try and dilute the fact that he's an immigrant, they kind of, like, I'm not saying it's a one-for-one, but every time Superman loses that ability to say, I came here for a life and I want to do good here, seems to get it worse. Like, the more American and native and default Superman gets, the closer and closer he gets to the Plutonian from Irredeemable. So, like, yeah, and I think, and like, you could look at, mental health is a big part of it, PTSD is a big part of it, pretty much every single superhero with multiple alters or anything like that, or secondary personalities. Holy criminy, we are not kind to people who have vivid fantasies or difficulty differentiating reality from fantasy. I'm not going to say that's all schizophrenics, but like we're definitely not nice to schizophrenics. And all of these things create this like web of stories that kind of only make sense once you know about marginalization and are further explained and expounded on by that marginalization. When you understand these things, you get this really interesting tapestry of effects, which is also why the incredible whiteness of a lot of superhero universes makes them worse. So I think that system works out really well for that. The thing that belonging, because now I'm just rambling. The thing about the belonging without belonging, I want to say it was like by Avery Alder. But now I'm wondering if that's someone who worked with Melissa Rogerson. I remember Melissa Rogerson. She's a games academic from Melbourne, and she wrote the paper "I Love All the Bits," and I think her writing is very good, and I like it, and I like what she has to say about board games and the way people interact with them, especially the way that they change how they play as they play them. But the work I'm thinking of is that the work I'm thinking with belonging within belonging of Sleepaway. The thing with Sleepaway is that it's a game where so the fundamental engine part of belonging without belonging is that you need a physical space with cue cards for people to like put stuff down. So if someone mentions a character in their part of the story, because it's a GM-less system, if someone mentions a character in the system in the story, they write their name down on a card and then they stick the card in the middle. And in Sleepaway, you build a corkboard full with character notes of and you can connect them with red string. Like, you're trying to unearth a conspiracy and find out who's summoning this terrible Finnish monster. And you make a conspiracy board. You build a conspiracy board as part of playing the game. Crisis does something similar where, and this is my tiny microscopic beef with Crisis, because it's not very important in the grand scheme of things, is that in Crisis, the board you're building is meant to represent the city, but also characters and buildings and objects are all put on the same cards. And I think, and this is a real game designer talking to game designer's stupid nitpick.
Yep.
I think that the character cards and the item cards should be smaller so they can move around.
I can see that.
And like that is such a needless thing. That is not a you get this you improve your game for free by doing this.
Like I said before, I sort of agree with the it's two people, it doesn't really matter stance. But also we're two people.
Yeah, it's true.
And I realize not everyone's two-person team has half of it being just like lightly obsessed with doing beautiful layouts and stuff.
Well, yeah, this is the area where I have to like pull aside the cloak, and this is where I reveal that a lot of this like attempt to be kind is also born out of a strong degree of condescension. I think I'm really, really good at this, and I think that you're incredible at this. I think that I have a full-time dedicated layout expert who works with websites and printed materials and has been doing this for 25 years. And I think that it's kind of a dick move on my part to say, look, just marry an obsessive goblin who will make all of your layouts good. How hard could that be? I found one.
I mean, I would recommend that to anyone.
I would, in fact, not recommend it to anyone who's not pre-prepared to have a goblin in their life. There are some people who are not looking for a goblin wife.
A goblin is for life.
Not just for layouts.
Hey, come here. But, setting that aside, I do think it's reasonable to say to someone, just check out, like, a published RPG book and see if their table of contents is 80 pages long. See if they maybe haven't used a 2-column layout, because a lot of the information they're presenting is, 6 words to a line kind kind of summaries of things. Like, just observe and think about shit.
So this is a thing I teach in the class called looking at things as a designer. So you don't look at things in terms of their emotional affect to you. You look at a thing and then you start with the assumption everything on this page was done intentionally by a person choosing to do it. This is the thing that happens a lot. Like I teach university students about board games, and like one of the most consistent things is students, rather stupidly, if I can say that, because I'm not teaching any of them at the moment. But one of the really consistent things is students saying the rules are bad because X, and they're wrong. They are consistently just straight up wrong, because what they're not realizing is you are not used to reading or parsing rules, so you ignored things. Or you got ideas incorrect, or you don't understand how to interact with other people over a board game. So you think you understand the rules, and you think the critical tool is, I didn't like this. This is bad. I need to be able to find some way of expressing a criticism that legitimizes my opinion that this is bad. And it doesn't matter if it's a student who's a little too steeped in marketing speak, who wants to try and think about, well, actually, this is bad because it wouldn't appeal to the core demographics. Which, by the way, having a student say that Codenames is badly marketed was fucking hilarious. Because this is where it follows into the second thing I was going to say, which is, you don't look at enough stuff.
Codenames, a board game you can now buy in fucking Target.
You can buy it in
Get
Target
it in a big W.
in flavors of Marvel and Harry Potter.
Yeah, even Turf Wizard School got a Codenames.
You cannot claim that that game is undermarketed.
It's like two different Disney Codenames.
Yeah, there's Disney and Disney Princesses, which is a real sign that they are trying to scoop up every dollar on the table. It's a rough one, and like that student, and the thing is that student's just wrong. Like, it's not that student is bad or stupid, it's just that student made a mistake. And that's the thing that's okay for the students to do. But it gives a way that you're not looking at things. It shows a lack of contextual familiarity. And this is one of the things about looking at itch RPGs that I think is really notable, in that there are lots of them that are presented to look just like a Word document or a Google Drive document that they've just exported to PDF and maybe given a cover page. And that's fine if the only people you want to show it to are the kinds of people who would probably already be looking at a Google Drive. Now, you can make the case that, like, yeah, it's a solo journaling RPG. The only people who want to look at that is that. But I'm talking as someone who has a YouTube hobby channel about looking at and talking about games, and let me tell you, if your game doesn't look like shit, it makes my life a lot easier, because I can just put your book on the screen.
It's not that you would ever reject something out of hand for just being a document.
Yeah.
But there are more appealing ways to present it that also have a practical purpose of making it easier to engage with as a reader or a player.
Yeah.
Like, even just a book, even just a novel or something, has, includes ideas about typesetting and formatting. Choices have been made.
Careful with your feet there, Fox. You might activate my trap card, and I'm going to start shouting about Gerard Jeanette and paratext.
I did tell you what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, like an hour ago.
Hey, here's one of my favorite things in paratext. There is a half chapter dedicated to weight of page.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Huh? Because books are heavy.
Have you ever held imported manga?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever sniffed imported manga? The scent of the paper that you get in a tankaban printed in Japan, rather than the localized versions, is so distinctive. And I'm sure it's like the most efficient paper they can use for this purpose, and that's the only reason.
Oh yeah, and part of why it's the most efficient paper they can use for this purpose is because the contract for it was negotiated in 1890.
And I suspect there's something really specific about, like, the plant makeup or something, because it smells sweet. There's a sweetness to it.
I can show you a documentary with Dave Bull about the making of the paper for the woodblock prints.
Yes, let's.
Which is dope as hell. Also, while I'm just like shooting in all directions, Jake Paul, the guy who's trying to get people to fucking slab Tankobon. The world will be a better place when that man is dragged into the street and beaten to death with sticks.
Yeah.
In Minecraft, I am discussing this, of course, as an ironic idea that this person has an outsized negative harm on all media and culture around him. Not that, you know, I actually am recommending violence, because if nothing else, if anyone I know did anything violent to him, they'd actually suffer negative consequences, no matter the enormous, incalculable good it would do. And my friends are too precious to waste on this man's life. But he's trying to get people in the head in the idea of, like, this is a really high quality Tankobon, and like it's been graded as like 89 degree white. It's like, no, it hasn't. No, it strictly has not. Like, that is just not true. Whoever is rating these things like that for you is a liar. And I suspect you know that, and I suspect that they're just making up something that sounds good to you, not because you're stupid, but because you're a con artist.
And a liar who stands to make money from it.
Yeah, because that paper is not consistently white. It's just not.
No, I mean, it's not even white to start with. That's not really the goal. It's definitely an off-white color, just at its core.
Uh-huh. Shonen Jump paper can feel, especially the older ones I've handled, can feel like fucking phone books. Like, they're designed to be cheaply printable. The tanks are designed to be
Jump
nice.
is again a different thing again. Yeah, those. I've an ancient fucking Gekkan Shoujo in the garage somewhere, and that shit is the cheapest paper I've ever felt outside of a phone book.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what? How did we get into this? Right, that fucking guy, just taking advantage of the fact that his audience is too young to remember the 90s comics crash, right? Like, it's the exact fucking same thing. It's just a guy unironically looking down the camera and going, it'll be fine this time.
And it's tied in with GME apes as well, which means it's like, you know, a stock investing cult as well.
Guys.
Yeah, deeply hateable, everyone involved. Like, I am perhaps overly attuned to see scams, because of my childhood. But
no
holy
such fucking thing.
But holy criminy, I have these moments of like, everyone can tell that this is a scam, right? You're all in on the scam, and you're all hoping that you can find people who aren't in on the scam, but you can't, because everyone here is in on the scam.
Yeah, they've gotta be,
right?
right?
Oh my god, there are sincere people in this room. Get out while you can. Get out.
You're never gonna get marks if you don't act like if you acknowledge the scam.
Yeah.
You're never gonna have the chance. So I have to assume that the idea is, yes, we do all know, but like, are you gonna say we shouldn't try?
If this crypto, if this crypto NFT is a scam, then every crypto NFT I've been in is a scam. Like,
so close to a life-changing revelation.
My friend, my sir.
Oof.
So, with that said, the paratextuality of the book, like the familiarity you have within the framework of just looking at this kind of thing. I know it's really easy to shit on Wizards of the Coast, and you should, and I will, and I won't stop. But look at their product, and, okay, momentarily set aside the quality of the artwork they're paying for, because, like, you can't get Thomas M. Baxter to pump out 12 artworks for your monster book, okay? That's not happening.
And that's fine. So there are some truly exceptional quality stock assets.
Yeah.
For unreasonably good prices.
Yep. And look, just set aside.
Artists have self-esteem problems.
Yeah, but like, you're not getting Julie Dillon to illustrate your backgrounds.
Not anymore.
It is very wild to see someone who I know I spoke to on the early internet signing her name to Magic the Gathering cards. It's like finding out that one of my childhood friends went on to write the Locked Term. But yeah, the whole the way that, tell you what's a really good place to go to for this study specifically, because they're usually available online for semi-free. Go look for 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons rules books, because they have a really standardized way of looking that is about conveying information clearly. This is a thing that, hey, in the industry, Fox, this is, you can help me out here. This is referred to as, it's not stage dress, it's...
Trade dress.
Trade dress, right. Yes, these games have a specific, thoughtful, and intentional trade dress, which is they are meant to look a particular way, and that particular way is meant to be consistent to convey information consistently.
I engaged so little with the physical books after, like, the initial flurry in which I was just looking at player books. I only realized, like, last year that they were all color-coded.
Yeah.
Depending on whether they were a book primarily intended for players or GMs, or if they were a book of monsters.
Uh-huh.
And, like, that's
The
sick.
whole book is color-coded.
That's fucking cool. Yeah, like they have the same theme but with different color schemes. Delightful.
Now, I
And it
can't...
actually, even though I hate Essentials, it actually got better in Essentials era even.
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm bringing up 4th edition because it's the edition I know, and I don't know anything about 5th edition. I couldn't tell you what those books look like. I have negative interest in becoming an expert in 5th edition. So it's entirely possible that if you already have 5th edition books, you should pop them open and look at them and see what their trade dress is like, see how it structures information consistently, see how it builds to a point, like intro, core mechanism, character building options, that kind of thing. I talk about this a lot. Dungeons and Dragons, the race class combo, problematic as it is with that word race in it, is one of the most effective instant play mechanics in any game. The second you understand that a character is a race and a class, you can start playing with that in your head. Oh, an elf fighter? That's not the same thing as a dwarf fighter. So how would I do that differently? And that means that even before the player is even aware of what a fighter does, by dint of that thing having an actionable, clear, obvious name that has a strong amount of evocation to it, the player is already playing before they understand how the game works to play with the language in their head. It is genuinely good design. Annoyingly, a game that I would like to shit on for this, but unfortunately does do something pretty similar, is Vampire the Masquerade. Go on.
Before you get into Vampire, I want to say I have looked at 5th edition books, and they're okay. They're not as good for this as 4th edition is, but part of that is because the information is less uniform. So it doesn't template. Like, the fact that powers have power cards in 4th edition. There's not just like a block of text for a spell and maybe it's got like a nicely formatted header and then just arbitrary text with whatever kind of floppy crap in it you want. Like, that is a beautiful gift in terms of layout. So it was easier to do this well for 4th edition.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it's better. The fact that a monster stat block is just like, you know, this is one column of the page at the absolute most. It's probably a third of a column for most things. And that's it. That's the whole ass monster. There's like some more fluff for it in the pages nearby if you want that. But when you wish to put this thing on the table and make it fight, this is the bit you need. It is 100% here in this tiny little snippet of text that you could cut out and have as a card if you wanted.
Indeed, famously, you can make the 4th edition monster book on a business card. Like, the formula for how a monster is formed under the hood has so much simplicity designed based on just derived values from what level the problem is.
Though, I mean, that's a little different, because that's about how to mechanically balance a monster, rather than here is all the play information you need to make the monster go.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say you can famously do them on a fucking receipt printer.
Yeah.
Which is a sick-ass trick.
Yeah, I think that's cool as hell.
Just, I would go on the thermal printer. Yep, tear off that monster. There you go, beholder.
Vampire the Masquerade's thing is that it starts with this deliberately very obscure, very mysterious language, and you have to learn it to understand what the fuck is going on. You don't have, like, Fox, you are a actual goddamn human with a day job and don't have all the time in the world to spend watching 5-hour Burger Creek explainer videos on a game you'll never play.
I am a little bit of a hater on Vampire the Masquerade terminology as well.
Yeah.
I'm not out here being like, it's a shit system or it's a bad idea or anything, but I become exhausted by the volume of the specific terminology.
Yeah.
And, to a degree, it's not a valid complaint, because, like, yeah, D&D does not have a weird surplus of proper nouns going on. Definitely not.
Yeah. And the thing with Vampire, that, like, the way it works is you start out with these terms that are opaque. You cannot tell me anything inherently you know about a Tsimisi based on that word.
Good lord, no.
Or a Bruja, or a Ventru, or a La Sombra. Right?
I do know some things about most of those, but only because I have also heard some of those videos.
Yeah, but like, there is nothing fundamental to those words that conveys that information the way that Fighter does. Those don't lock into existing lore spaces. But because of that, what Vampire then gets to do is every title asks a question. Alright, this is a La Sombra assassin. What does that mean? Well, to understand that, you need to understand what a La Sombra is. But because every clan has a strong character and a gimmick, even the ones that are reasonably similar to one another, of like, oh yeah, they're rich freaks who fuck a lot. Like, that's, that's not a hard thing for most people to imagine. But there are multiple vampire clans that all look that way, and they all have a distinctive gimmick or a hook. There are multiple types of vampire whose whole thing is, we are clearly 20 years old in the goth subculture, and we think everyone here is a little too much of a weenus. And those clans all have distinct ideas to them as well. Where I think this breaks down incidentally is I think that this whole idea of like specific language that then gets extemporized through a hook, I think that works terribly for werewolf. I think because when you ask people, ooh, what about a werewolf? They're going to think much closer to just like, well, a werewolf is just a thing, right? There's no multiple different ways a werewolf can be. A werewolf is probably just one thing in their head. So the idea of like, oh no, there's 20 different packs of werewolves and they all have distinct disciplines and relationships to Gaia. Like, that works if you already know how Vampire works, and you're thinking, ah, yes, I want to play like Vampire, but a different thing. But if you're going, hey, do you like werewolves? And speaking of myself, yeah, I fucking love werewolves. And then they say, do you want to watch a 3-hour video explaining the 17 different factions and clans of, like, no, that's dumb.
See, I kind of agree with you. But I also, like, for me, that's also true of vampires. They are one thing in my head.
Yeah.
And part of what Vampire the Masquerade does is try and fold in a lot of like vampire-like things into that idea.
And then we get into this whole question of like linguistic legitimacy. Like, is a Moroi actually a vampire?
Yeah. And like that's not my business to determine.
But you want to.
But also, isn't that true of werewolves? Like, don't they fold in other shapeshiftery animal things from a variety of cultural backgrounds with varying degrees of appropriateness?
Look, I'm gonna level with you. I have no idea. I watched a 3.5-hour video from Burger Creek about werewolves, and I can't remember dick shit nothing about it. They are memory antimatter to me, which is weird because like werewolves are the thing I would like the most. And indeed, that's part of it. I think like I would like to play a Vampire the Masquerade campaign, and my thing is I'm not a vampire, I'm a werewolf. That strikes me as a fun, different thing. But I don't need to then bring in, and here are the 20 clans and their different politics, everything. Like, no, that's not what a werewolf is in my mind.
I don't want a werewolf to do politics. That is fundamentally correct.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't give a fuck about bloodlines.
Ugh, yeah. That all gets eugenics-y real quick, especially if you're
appropriate
crunchy.
for vampires, because vampires are assholes like that.
Yeah, they're fascists and they're obsessed with blood.
Vampires are nobility as monsters.
Yeah.
Werewolves are definitely not. Werewolves are probably just things as monsters.
So, there's a lot of stuff that I've done. Academic reference. Kathleen Keddy, I think is the name. Kathleen Kettle? Crap. She has a YouTube channel. The Child and the Monster. She's done a whole bunch of academic study on the representation of monsters in media and fiction. I'm probably going to wind up using some of her stuff when I start writing about moonshiners, because it's all about werewolves. But the idea of the werewolf and what it represents, obviously it always varies from culture to culture and place to place, but it's not uncommon at all for the werewolf to be just the outsider or nature.
I'm very excited to find out that there's a Welsh werewolf. And they're kind of not bad guys. They're sort of... You know how Absol has that thing about, like, oh, people say it brings disasters because it knows when a disaster's going to happen. They're kind of like that. They're kind of like X-Men, world that hates and fears you, kind of misunderstood good guys.
Look, I'm not for nothing. I understood that the Welsh werewolf is the first one. It's the one that the English fucking copied.
Certainly could be. I mean, I doubt anyone knows for sure. Because
well,
usually with folklore monsters, no one's really sure what the first sort of variant was.
Yeah, well, were is the Welsh word for man. So, I always assumed there was a lot of proximity there.
No, I thought that was some kind of Latin.
It might be as well. The Latin did...
Herein we have the problem.
The Romans did in fact influence the Welsh. Mostly by trying to kill them.
That's a type of influence.
And that's why in that song, Ema Ohid, the first person in the list of, here are the people who tried to genocide us, is fucking Maxon. Roman centurion from, like, the 60s.
Good boy. Boy, howdy, there's one Figment left, right?
There is one Figment left. I'm so mad. There is a thing I can do if I want to admit defeat.
What's that?
Which is we come back here. Well, you can't look it up. How would I know? Like, I've got to check. If I have a list of all of them, it would be, all right, did I get that one? 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 Etc. And that would be really annoying. No, what I can do is I can come back at the end of the game when Otto gives me access to the special lenses that let me find the last lets me find things, because on this planet, if you put those special glasses on and look down, it will look through the planet and show you the other side where the things are, so you can at least get guided towards it. Incidentally, little helmet goblin cactus, I think that's great.
Yeah, I believe I staked my allegiance to helmet cactus. Big fan, big fan. Is there anywhere where you gotta, like, get them from inside boxes or, you know, ground pound stuff or anything like that? I'm not used to how collector mupping goes in this game. But, like, there are all these things where I'd be like, oh, surely it'd be inside one of these crates that's floating in the water, or...
Yeah.
But, like, you'd know if that kind of thing happened.
I can't do anything on this except move it around. I can't even jump off. Which means I have to find a port to get off on.
But, like, can you ram the crates and have things pop out of them?
Oh, sure, let me show you what happens when I ram the crates. Sorry, sure. Rather, no, that doesn't work. But just because at this point we're curious, let me show you what happens when I ram the crates.
They go away and come back.
Yeah.
Well, boring.
And, like, there's nothing wrong with coming back.
It's probably just, like, popping out of the water in the middle of nowhere, right?
There is a chance it's doing that. There's also the chance it's just grass on one of these islands that I've missed.
I'm itching to, like, go up and stand in front of the TV and look really closely as you move around. But then I'd be very weird
I don't want to
audio.
use the thought
and also,
tool.
Ellie just settled down and has his head on my leg, so I definitely can't get up now. It's extremely cute for anyone who is wondering.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have any of the filters on these glasses.
Please don't do
I'm inside a mine. I'm surrounded by so many stray thoughts.
You make
Might
me
explode. Or,
I
you know,
throwed up.
make a really loud sound.
Also, it's so, like, fucking hazy around here. It's not helping.
Yep. Because it's doing sunrise and sunset.
Well, yeah, but they're hazy for some reason as well.
probably how the people who made this imagined sunrise and sunset work. And speaking as someone who lives near a steelworks, it absolutely is.
Looking at the tops of things is probably a good idea. I've heard gamers don't look up.
Uh-huh.
Really thought I saw something on the side of that bottle, but I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be like the green sheen of the bottle.
You and Bob aren't
It
friends?
is.
Well,
Oh, no.
Helmut was the one we all liked, really. He was so outgoing and handsome. We were just nice to Bob because...
That can't be the only reason you were friends with Bob.
Wow.
True, we also needed his vegetables.
You and Bob were good friends.
The truth is, we all saw Helmut with someone taller.
You and Bob were
Got a
good
lot of
friends.
insecurities, huh?
The truth is, we all saw Helmut with someone taller.
But yes, I think I need to call it, in all honesty.
No trouble.
I'm
Miguel.
not gonna hold it against you.
Just like me
and-
at your age.
Come back with the glasses. Because at this point now,
One stupid pigment that's so offensive.
well, yeah, you see the stubbornness is now... It's a push and pull between the stubbornness and the symmetric deal. Hang on a second.
Oh yeah, I am also sick of this. Don't worry.
Yeah, we've been rummaging around. So here's the thing: we've been rummaging around looking for the last figment for almost an hour.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to be able to go like, haha, we did it. We're brilliant, chat. I have a suspicion I'm not going to be able to pull it off.
Oh, that's why I thought you could break barrels, because of course you can do it when you're
On the ground.
special. Hey,
There was one in
get
coconut.
under that boardwalk. No, not that one. Yeah, underneath.
Do, 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 do.
Nope.
Big bottle.
It's not underneath.
Not a Dom Chambers joke here.
I do not understand.
Dom Chambers is an Australian magician.
Ah! So, just really going for the narrowest reference there.
Well, okay, so he's got a trick. He's got a routine he calls beer magic. It's pretty solid. And one of the things he does is he says there's a wine bottle in this paper bag, and then he fishes out a bottle about the size of his thumb. So, tiny bottle, still a bottle.
Not magic, though, is it?
Well, then he transforms it into a full-size bottle.
Aha! Magic.
Uh-huh. He also includes one of my favorite lines. It's almost standard patter, but he uses it well, which is, now everyone knows that a good magician never does the same trick twice. And then he repeats a trick and says, see, I'm not a good magician. Because what he's doing is a different trick that looks the same. Because, as we know, the trick is there to hide the method.
But it's just being shit on purpose and making a joke out of it.
Nah. No, he has, what he's doing is a variant of the old doves and tails routine, which is you produce doves from around your clothing, which is very impressive because, you know, doves are alive. And that, you know, how could you possibly have 7 doves in your clothes? That seems impossible.
It does seem impossible.
Am I still in... Hey, I'm,
May I trouble you for a bubble?
No, I'm shipping the bottle is a different location. Boo! Alright, yeah, okay. What he's doing is he's producing full glasses of beer.
Got a little
Instead.
bubble juice in my nose
Which-
that time.
Little overly Australian reference, but you know, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's kind of on the nose. But
And he
yeah,
doesn't modify his accent.
I should hope not.
I look, the Hemsworths made it very clear to the world that, you know, Australianness is permitted as long as no one can notice it. So,
I've never heard them not acting, so
yeah.
I don't know what they talk like when they're talking quote-unquote normally.
You know, well, they're from Queensland, so I want you to imagine what that accent's probably like.
Well, I'm just imagining talk like this cunt.
See, well over 5 minutes into the video before he dropped the C-bomb. Alright.
Didn't I? Oh no, we weren't talking about that on air.
Nope.
I definitely said some things about Pauline Hanson earlier tonight.
Yeah. The stern political position here is that lady is bad. And if you have a family or friend or relative who likes her, they're a bad person.
Firm policies, Australia.
Yeah. Sorry. Like, you might be able to find ways to reach them. You might be able to communicate with them. You might have to put up with them because they're their family and you love them. But, like, you love a bad person. Sorry. I say this as someone who's almost certainly going to have that conversation. Alright, then. I think I'm going to call it. We've done our best. We've bobbed our bottles. But I think that last figment is just too hard to find in this context. So I am going to come back and next week, well, next fortnight, we'll be going to a new world. One of my 2 favorite worlds in this whole game.
Maybe we'll spend an hour doing nothing and talking about game design.
I think that was at least a fun, chill hangout. And like, I am going to make a point in the description of this is just us trying to find figments. You're not going to see any plot advancement. There isn't anything remarkable. But also, if you're any of the developers of these games, you might be interested.
It was not, in fact, a piece of piss.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It was a whole long-ass piss.
Yeah, we had to race like a piss horse.
But
Never mind. Yes, that was Talen.
this was Fox.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.